COVID-19. This is a public information broadcast for the people of the Holme Valley Parish. My name is James Dalton. Welcome to the Democracy Emergency Room. By watching this video, you will learn where the Holme Valley is, its size, its extent, the demographic breakdown and the effect that the China virus, COVID-19, has had on mortality in the parish in the last 12 months. If you're not from the parish, this video you will learn how to retrieve the data for yourselves for the impact of COVID-19 in your locale. So we'll start by explaining where the Holme Valley is. Here we have a map of Great Britain, and this is Yorkshire in white. Well, here's a close-up map of West Yorkshire, and we've got Wakefield, Kirklees, Calderdale, Bradford and Leeds, Kirklees, and at the south of end of Kirklees, Holme Valley South and Holme Valley North, which is Meltham and Brockholes and Honley, and this is the boundary of the parish of the Holme Valley. Now here's a closer look at the Holme Valley Parish. Now this is actually the District Council ward, Holme Valley South ward. Holme Valley North ward is to the north, and the Holme Valley Parish actually incorporates the whole of the Holme Valley South ward and another area just slightly to the north, which is Honley and Brockholes. We can just home in up there, and we can see Honley, Brockholes, and the rest of the Holme Valley parish is Holme Valley South constituency, which those familiar with the area will know: Holme Firth, last of the summer wine country, Woldale, Thongsbridge, Newmill, Jackson Bridge and Hepworth and Scholes, Nether Thong, my ward, Upper Thong and Holme Bridge, and up towards Holme Moss, and there's Holme Village up there. We can also retrieve some data from the Kirklees Observatory database. This useful source of information. What the Holme Valley Parish it consists of in terms of population and demographic breakdown. So let's take a look. There's our parish boundaries. Holme Firth here in the middle, and what we can see is that the Holme Valley Parish has a population, or in March 2018, the estimates for 2019 here are 27,526 people, so roughly 27,526 people in the Holme Valley. Rough equal breakdown, slightly more females than males. Typical of data sites, often get numbers wrong. They are, in fact, I've checked them, 50.5 and 49.5. Yes, we've got a population of 27,526, and just slightly more than half are ladies. Worth noting here the age breakdown as well. Age population 0 to 15. Children around about 5,000. School leavers up to the age of 29. Just over 3,333, and 30 to 44 age group 4,303, and then 8,674 for the 45 to 64, and over 65s 6,280. You'll see over half the population is in the over 45 bracket, so we do have roughly half the population over 50 years of age in the parish, and we've got 16,311 of working age in the parish, nearly 60%. As this is also a statistic worth noting, in deaths in 2019, it's quite a low number actually for a population of 27,526. It represents less than 1%, which would be not an abnormal average currently with our demographic breakdown. Anyway, let's move on. The next site we're going to go to is the National Office for National Statistics site. So let's take a look at this. The Office for National Statistics have published the data for us to look at deaths due to COVID-19 interactive map. Use our interactive map to explore the number of COVID-19 deaths in your area. Now, what's a COVID-19 death? Well, it does tell us a little bit more here. Our interactive map allows you to see the number of deaths registered in the period March to December 2020 where COVID-19 was the underlying main cause on the death certificate. Now, this website is going to be updated to incorporate the January data in on the 18th of February in 2 days' time. So we'll see what the updates are then. But for now, the data on this website does take us from the start of the epidemic back in when was it now? Last February, March, and right through to the end of Christmas, end of December. So let's. You can see the map incorporates all the data for England and Wales, and you can go to your own area if you're not from the Holme Valley. But we'll stick with our parish, and we're starting off here. I've already plugged in a postcode, which is a random postcode I've picked from one of the 3 areas. There are 3 healthcare areas which cover the Holme Valley Parish, and we'll take them one at a time. But let's start off with the area which incorporates Holmfirth to the south east of the River Holme, which is Holmfirth Centre, Underbank here, and Wooldale and Thongsbridge, Newmill, Jackson Bridge, Hepworth, Scholes, also Cartworth Moor and Haydedge. Now, what we can see here is that the pandemic starts here in March. 2020, and in April there was one recorded death in this third, if you will. It's not quite a third numerically, but then we had one in May. April the 8th is when the epidemic statistically peaked. May there was a death. We go through June, July, August, September, October, November. Good, what's that? 6 months, and then into December we've got one more death. So that's a third of the of our area. Let's now go for one of the other areas, which is the Upper Thong, Nether Thong, the northwest side of Holmfirth. So we'll put another, again, apologies if this is your postcode. It's not intentional. I haven't picked on anybody. We'll go for 2QE. That should be somewhere down in Upper Thong, I think-ish. Yes, here we go. So in this part of the Holme Valley Parish, the west end, back in March, we didn't have in 2 in the peak. At the peak of the epidemic, we had 2 in April. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, thankfully with no mortality, and then 3 in November and 3 in December. So we've got 8 in there, 3 in the other area. Let's now have a look in the third health area, care area, which is Honley and Brockholes. So let's see if we can. We'll put again, apologies if this is your postcode, but we'll get one in Honley somewhere. That might do the trick. There we go. One in Honley. Again in Honley, back in March 2020. There we go. None at the peak of the epidemic, 4. 1 in May as the epidemic was tailing off, and June when it all but disappeared. June, July, August, July back in June. That's around about when masks were coming in, just as the epidemic we were coming up to the end of the Gompertz curve, and the epidemic was tailing off. Anyway, go through to November, and November we've got sadly 5 people passed away in November. Thankfully, none in December. So there we have it. That is the Holme Valley Parish. Now, back in March, we were advised of this COVID Chinese virus that had come into the country at the parish council meeting on the 23rd of March. And myself and my colleague Judith Roberts, who are your ward councillors for Netherthong, we got together to avail ourselves of the best information at the time, and we posted this public notice locally. I think it's worth taking a recap as to what we posted and see where things went. I'll not read it through. You can freeze frame if you want to have a look through. We were basically advised at a meeting of the initial problem, and put this initial advisory note out to the people in our locale back in March. Things have obviously moved on since then. So in summary, the things I really wanted to summarise. Here we have the Holme Valley Parish COVID summary as of today. I think I wrote this out yesterday. It's probably a day out on the date, but here we go. Holme Valley Parish COVID summary. So the population of the Holme Valley Parish as of 2019, 27,526. In the 8 months from February to October 2020, the number of people who died of COVID was 9. As we came into the 2021 winter period, so far, 3 months from November to January 2021, actually that's to the start of January 2021, 12. So the total 21 deaths, which is 0.076% of the population. The average age of a UK COVID death is 82 in years. I haven't got into the died with or died of COVID. There's a lot of other things that can be read into the numbers, but 99.924% of people haven't died of COVID. Just for comparison, after World War I, the famous quoted pandemic, the Spanish flu in 1919, 1920, the average age of people who died of the Spanish flu back then was 26 years old. It was clearly a fundamentally different and much more significant disease that struck the world in 1919. Really isn't comparable to the current health pathogen COVID-19. Let's move on. So, in summary, businesses have been destroyed. Children have had their lives stolen. Schools, shops, factories, pubs and churches have been closed. Mask wearing is known to be bad for health, yet it has been promoted and normalised. None of this has been anything to do with your health or that of your family. Vitamins C and D are known to be important in preventing illness in those with SARS-CoV-2 infections. Ivermectin and HCQ are known to assist in preventing illness in those with SARS-CoV-2 infections. The government has failed to promote and provide to patients the known, cheap, available medication that can help them fight illness. Experimental vaccines which have not undergone trials sufficient to confirm their safety in respect of children, pregnant women, babies in the womb, fertility in children and adults, and these vaccines are being widely administered. Moreover, large profits without liability are being made by those with direct influence over government policy. Now just imagine how current adults in positions of responsibility in the United Kingdom would react if there was a real health emergency. if you are thinking that the wrong people are making decisions, then you would be 100% correct. 21, 0.076%, average age 82. Whenever we lose a loved one, it's tragic. I'm not going to go into all the other tragedies that families and bereaved families have suffered in, because there will be around about 230, 240 deaths in the Holme Valley in the period 2020. So sadly, in summary, I have to report the following. The government is your enemy, aided and abetted by a compliant and corrupt media with whom they have common purpose. This threat is real. You can watch your lives be destroyed further by psychopathic liars in government, or you can replace the corrupt Labour, Conservative, Lib Dem, SNP uniparty at the ballot box. Please don't shoot the messenger. This is Cllr James Dalton of the 5-Star Direct Democracy Party. It's the 16th of February 2021. Godspeed.